Hello everyone, myself Professor Rutusha Jadhav. I am Assistant Professor from Computer Engineering Department of KK Wagh Institute of Engineering Education and Research, Nasik. Uh, Welcome to the E-Series lectures on Skill Development Laboratory. It is a course of third year Computer Engineering, and its teaching scheme is it is having tutorial of 2 hours per week and practical of 4 hours per week, and the total credits given are 4, 2 for the tutorial and 2 for the practicals. Talking about the examination scheme, it is having term work of 50 marks and oral of 50 marks. And the prerequisite courses for this are fundamentals of programming languages of first year, principles of programming languages of second year, data structures and algorithms of second year. Today we will be discussing about the practical assignment with the title using R for data pre-processing, exploratory analysis and visualization. So before going into the assignment, let me tell you that the university syllabus has given 5 different modules, out of which we have to select one. So we have selected Python and data science with our module, that is module 2. So it is having half assignments related to Python and half assignments related with R. So I have today's discussion is based on the assignment from data science with R, and that is the second assignment from this R part. First assignment is related to installation, so that is why we will be discussing today the second assignment. So let us discuss about the objectives first. So the objective is to understand the data pre-processing, exploratory analysis, visualization of a given data set using R. And the outcome is after this assignment, you will be able to identify the number and types of features in the given data set. Also, you will be able to compute and display summary statistics for each feature available in the data set. You will be able to create different plots, so you will be able to visualize the data using various different plots such as box plot, scatter plot, density plot for each attribute in the data set. Also, you will be able to compare the distributions using different and identify the outliers in the given data set. So let us discuss about the input to this assignment. So input to this assignment is the iris flower data set. So let us have a look at the data set. So here, see, it is having 5 attributes: sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and the species. And in all total, there are around 150 records. Okay, so this is our iris data set. So this is the attribute information related to the input. So related to data set. So sepal length in centimeter, sepal width in centimeter, petal length in centimeter, petal width in centimeter, and the fifth attribute is related to class or the species of the flower. So there are 3 categories: iris setosa, iris versicolor, iris virginica. Output, so you will be after executing this assignment, you will be able to get the summary details of the data set. In detail, you will get the summary of the data set, different attributes, and also for visualization, you will be able to see the box plots, scatter plot, density plot. And the programming language used for this assignment is R. So let us proceed with the actual demonstration of the assignment. So let me clear this first initially. Okay, so this is R Studio for implementing your for writing your R script. So already I have written the program for it. So let us discuss line by line. So first statement or first line of the code is install packages caret. So caret stands for classification and regression training, and this package is containing various tools related to data splitting, data pre-processing, feature selection and so on. So that is why we need this package caret. Okay, as we will be doing data pre-processing, we will be splitting the data. That is why we have used the package called caret and then invoke the library caret. So let me execute these statements. Okay, so the required package is being loaded. Okay, the next is data preprocessing. So now we will input the or bind the data set in the current environment. So there is a function called data, and iris is our data set. So data iris view. So data iris, it will load the data set into this current environment. Also you can use the statements like read csv, and you can read the data set iris into a data frame, and then you can process. So this is one way. So data iris, if you want to see the data set again over here, you can use the function view, and the argument is the data set. So as shown, so this is the attribute sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and the species. And here you can see 150 records. Okay, so whenever you are loading the data set into this current environment, so in this on the left and right hand side, you can see in the environment tab, you are able to see this iris data set. It is having 150 observations of 5 variables. Now let us proceed. Now let us summarize the data set. So let us find out the dimension of the data set. In order to find out the dimension of the data set, we need to have the function dim, and in the arguments are the data set. So if I execute it, I'll get the output as 150 by 5. So 150 rows and 5 columns, 150 records, 5 attributes. Okay, now if you want to check the attribute, the type of each attribute, then you can use the function called sapply, and the arguments to this function are the data set and the class. So if I execute this command, I will get to know what is the type of a particular attribute. So here you can see sepal length is of the type numeric, sepal width is of the type numeric, petal length is of the type numeric, petal width is also numeric, and species is of the type factor. Then if you want to check the first 5 rows of the data, first 5 records of the data, then you can use the function called head. So head iris. So I'll execute it. So here you can see the 5 records, first 5 records are displayed. First 6 records rather. Okay, so let us see the summary of attribute distribution. So if I give the function called summary and pass argument as our data set, so it will be giving these values for all the attributes. That is, what is the minimum value of a particular attribute, what is the maximum value of a particular attribute, what is the median means the middle element of the attribute, what is mean, that is the average value of the attribute, what is first quartile, that is the value between minimum and the median, what is the third quartile, that is the value between the median and the third quartile, I mean max, and second quartile is nothing but the median. Okay, the middle one. So for each attribute, these values will be displayed using the function called summary. Then now let us discuss about creating a validation set, that is data partitioning. Now how to partition the data. So uh, for data science, for analysis purpose, you may need to train the data, you may need to construct various models. Okay, so you need to train the data first, train the model first. So with the given data set, you can partition it into 2 types, that is the training data set and the testing data set. So that is what is data partitioning, and data partitioning can be done in R using create data partition function. So this is the function where you can split the data set. Okay, so percent wise you can split, so you need to specify what percent needs to be separated out. Okay, so data set is iris, and based on species, so the partitioning factor here given is 0.80, that is 80% of the data will be copied in the validation variable. Okay, so in the validation you will get now 80% of the data. Okay, out of 150 records, 80% will be copied in the validation, and in case of validation 20, the remaining 20% of the data will be copied. So iris in our data set is iris, so iris of minus validation, so whatever is the validation apart from that will be copied in the validation 20. So let us execute it. So the statements are executed, and here the values of the variables are reflected now. So see here, validation is having 120 records, validation 20 is having 30 records. So 120 plus 30, that is our total 150 records. Okay, now in this iris we have copied the validation data, that is the 120 records we have copied, and we are just checking it. So this is our training data, and this is the iris. Okay, so here you can see now the serial number is not continuous, 1 3 4, okay, 23 26. So out of that 150, randomly 120 records are being separated. So this is how you split the data set into two halves. So you just have to use the function called create data partition, and you need to specify the percentage. Okay, so this is about data splitting. Now let us see about the data visualizations. So firstly we will split the input and output. So from the given data set, so total 5 columns are there. So we will split the data set as because the fifth column is related to the species, we can say it is a class. So we will say that the fifth column species, that is the class, is the outcome output variable. Okay, and let us say that the attributes 1 to 4, that is the sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, these are the input attributes. Okay, so this is how we have split it. So x is equals to iris of square brackets comma 1 colon 4. So from attributes 1 to 4 we have copied it into the x. Similarly y is equal to iris of square bracket comma 5, all the records, but sorry, only the column value of fifth, that is the species, is being copied into the y. So if you execute it and see, you will come to know that in x, see here, x only the first 4 attributes are being copied: sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and in y only the fifth column is copied. So all rows of the fifth column, that is what is the syntax, comma blank before comma, so that indicates all the rows of this particular columns, all the rows of this particular column. So in this manner you have splitted the input and output. Okay, now let us see about the plots. So first we will discuss about unvariate plots. Unvariate plots meaning individual, for an individual attribute also you can plot the okay. So firstly we will see about the box plot. Okay, so here you can see the function used is box plot, and the parameters here, because now here, because now we are going to plot for the individual attribute, that is why we have written from the input array we are going to plot the box plot for the first attribute. First attribute here in this case is sepal length, so only for sepal length we are going to plot the box plot. Okay, so that is why x comma x of 1 comma main is equals to name, we are giving the name to the plot. So name is iris of 1. From this data set, what is the first column? It is sepal length, so sepal length will be displayed. So why we are using this box plots? So box plots are measures of how well the data is distributed in a data set. So from this plot we will come to know. So here it is. So in this right bottom corner you can see under the tab plots, here the box plot for the sepal length for only the first column, first attribute is being displayed. So as you can see, this box plot divides the data into 3 quartiles. So this is minimum, maximum, median, then this is the first quartile, this is the second quartile, this is the third quartile. So this is what is a box plot. Now this is about the individual attributes. So for a single attribute also you can plot the graph, the plots, that is box plot. And if you want for multiple attributes in the box plot, if you want to plot box plot for multiple attributes in a one go, so you can use the for loop, and you can set the plotting area by using the function called pair. So pair, and you have to specify the rows, so 1 to 4, for all the columns 1 to 4 you have to take all the data. So you are setting the plotting area, and then using for loop for I in 1 to 4, you are simply placing the same function which was written for the individual attribute. So box plot, now instead of x of 1, here we are writing x of I. So because it's a loop, so one attribute will be taken at a time, and main is equals to names iris of I. So whichever is the attribute, that attribute will be selected and will be displayed. So let us execute this. Sorry. One bracket missing over here. 1 minute. Okay, because I executed without this last bracket, so it was in the processing loop. So I have completed the bracket over here. Okay, so this is the graphs, this is the box plot for each attribute. Okay, so for each attribute we have displayed the box plot. Now for the output variable, simply we have used the plot function. So these are the three species: Setosa, Virginica and versicolor. So this is our output. Now let us see about the multivariate plots. Now multivariate plots, here individual plotting is not allowed. So let us see now. First one is the scatter plot. Okay, so for that we will be using the function called feature plot, and to the x-axis we are giving our x as the input, x input, and to the y we are giving our output variable y, which is nothing but the plus. Okay, so let us execute this. So here you can see for each attribute, now we have plotted the scatter plot. So scatter plots shows us many points in the plotted in the Cartesian plane, and each point here represents a value, from one from the horizontal and one from the vertical. So horizontal here is our class. Okay, so this is how for each attribute we have displayed the scatter plot. Now in this scatter plot, if you want to show the relation between the species, different species for a particular attribute, you can use the ellipses and different ellipses in different colors. So for that we will be using the package called ellipses, and then the same function we will write feature plot with additional plot is equals to ellipse. So round ellipses of different colors will be displayed for each species. So let us see the output. So this is how for each attribute and for each species you can see three different colors are there. Okay, with the ellipses, round circles over there. So that is because we have used the package called ellipse, and the plot type we have mentioned as the ellipse. Okay, then next, box and whisker plots. In the same, instead of ellipse, now if we want box plot for this, then we can simply change the plot argument in the same function. So you can see feature plot, x is again initialized to our x attributes, y is the y attribute, and plot is equals to now box. So let us see. So here you can see now instead of that those ellipses, now the plot is of the type box. So you can see box plot for each species for a particular attribute. Okay, now the last one, that is the density function, density plot. So density plot shows the distribution of our numerical attributes. So what we are doing, we are in a list we are copying the x and y, that is the input and output attributes, and we have set the relation of both the attributes as free, and we have copied it into scales. Okay, and then we have used the function called feature plot. Now same function we have used, that is the feature plot, because for selected features we are doing that. So feature plot, here you can initialize x. Now the syntax is same, only the plot and the scales are, these two parameters are added. So plot is equals to density and scales is equal to scales. That is the variable in which we have copied this. Okay, if I execute it, so here you can see the density plot for each attribute with different colors for each species. So 3 you can see, that is for the three factors, that is the three classes, Setosa, versicolor and virginica. So you will get the distribution for each attribute: petal length, petal width, sepal length, sepal width. So this is the simple assignment that you need to perform, but with some additional practice assignments. So I hope the assignment is clear to all. Now let us get back to our presentation. Okay, so demonstration is over. So this is about the assignment 2. Now some sample problems I have suggested for you. You can work on it. So you have to download, so sample 5 assignments are there. So here you have to download the same iris flower dataset, and using Weka, whatever functions we have seen today, you have to implement using a Weka tool. So that is the data visualization tool. So with Weka you can try out this assignment. Also we have done using R, so same assignment you can perform using Python, because it is our Python and R programming. So try to implement the assignment, same assignment using Python. Then we have plotted only box plot, then uh, the scatter plot and the density plot. You can try different plots. Okay, so I suggest histogram and all other plots, bar graph, you can check out, and then you can plot various other graphs apart from whatever is explained in this particular assignment. Then rest 3, here the data set is different, so you have to perform the same assignment, that is the same instruction, same exercise you have to perform, but with different data sets. So these are the sample assignments, sample 6 assignments that I have designed for you. Then these are the sample oral questions related to this assignment, so which will be helpful for the oral examination. So these are the 15 oral questions I have prepared for this particular assignment. And then there are certain test cases that you can carry out. So we have seen display summary for summary statistics. We have seen the sapply function. So without that function, can you display the summary, that you have to check. Okay, also you have to check whether any missing value is there in the data set. If there is no missing value, then you can try to include the missing values and see the changes in the observations of the histogram, box plot and so on. Okay, so these are certain test cases that you need to perform. Okay, so that is it for the today's session. So thank you.